Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to episode number 32 of Lead to Greatness, where we believe in helping others reach their greatest potential, and together we can change the world. Today on Lead to Greatness, we have Genecia Alluora, the founder of Soul Rich Woman, where she is empowering women in business and entrepreneurship. Genecia was crowned Miss Singapore. In today's podcast, Genecia discussed how she was bullied at 14 years old and how she was embarrassed and how she suffered with low self-esteem and battled depression and suicidal thoughts. She also mentioned how her mother gave her a single phrase that changed her perspective in her life, that took her from the bottom, and now she's number one leading women empowerment business in Southeast Asia. Please help me welcome Genecia Alluora.
This is Cedric Francis, and you're listening to Lead to Greatness.
I started working when I was 14 years old, really very young, because I had to support myself through school, and I built myself up to where I am today. Before running Soul Rich Woman, this network, I was a cafe retail chain owner with presence in 3 countries. We were in Singapore, Malaysia, and Indonesia with 18 franchisees and licensees. After 4 years, we exited to a public listed company owner. Well, the reason why I did Soul Rich Woman, there are 3 reasons. First is because I wanted to leave a legacy in my business. And of course, going from offline to online in 2012, 2013 helped me to see that trading time for money as an image consultant wasn't going to cut it anymore. So I wanted to find a solution to really have freedom, have more fabulous, have more financial independence. So by 2013, after I went online, first 3 months, I made $100,000. And within a single year, I made my first $1 million. So I took this money and reinvested back into the business. And that was why and how I started Soul Rich Woman just in 2015. And really putting back into the business to grow and help other women as well. Because when you have the skill set, when you have the knowledge and you have the experience, you want to put everything together so that, success is never just about glorious wins. It's about taking a step back and letting other people shine as well. So I want to let other women leap off my shoulders so that they can have a head start and have shortcut in their entrepreneurship journey to achieve their F word, which is being fabulous, having freedom, financial independence, and a happy family. But one thing that people don't know about me, I would say, is that I was also a 9-to-5 employee. Graduated, I was an occupational therapist. So I was working in a hospital, and I came from the SARS period. I went through the SARS period, and it was really tough during that time. So to me, a pandemic is it touches base in my heart because I've gone through it. And transiting now to being able to do online and being able to have a network, I truly feel very blessed. And we want to bring this blessing to more people around the world.
So you said, I want to go back. You said 14 years old. 14 years old, you started. A 14-year-old young lady, what in your mind, for you to move in this direction?
My family was not well to do, and my mom had to pawn her gold to send me to do instructor program. So I, at a very young age, took up aerobics, yoga, and country line dancing as a way to teach and learn to earn my pocket money and to put myself through my school, which is to earn the tuition fees and also put bread on the table. So it was not easy because at 14, I'm very young. Other people are going shopping, watching
Right.
movies, So for me, it was really tough growing up. And I often was being bullied in school
Mm.
because I wasn't able to change a lot of my bags, update new handphones. I wasn't able to have all of these things. So I'm often being the target of bullies in school.
Mm.
And I remember there was one incident that the girls cornered me at the basketball court and pulled open my PE shirt because we're playing basketball, right? And exposing my bra. And I don't have a lot of money, so usually I repeat certain, my inner wear. In front of everyone, she mocked at me. She said, "Oh, you're wearing the same bra?" And
Wow.
I just felt humiliated.
Mhm.
And there was another incident where she took my bag and threw it across the classroom floor, and all my books were strewn all across the floor. Everything was all across the floor. And that really hurt me very deep. My
Wow.
self-esteem was affected, and I never thought that I was going to survive school with such bullies going on.
Wow.
So my mom told me one thing. She said, "You have to turn your mess into your message."
Your mess into your message. Well, this is interesting. Okay, so here you are, 14 years old. You're born into adversity. Parents, your family is less fortunate, and now you have to go to school and you have to deal with adversity at school and all these different levels. And I'm just thinking about this, 14 years old. I mean, even now there's teenage young ladies right now that has taken their lives, and teen suicide is at its all-time high right now because of things like this. And for you to overcome that, and like you said, turning your mess into a message, what in your head? I mean, I'm talking because I know mom said that. I mean, it's easier said than done. What in your mind? What inside of you that made you take that message from your mother, that wisdom, and just driving with it throughout high school?
I think it's all about not being a victim of my own circumstances, my
Mm,
mental, social, emotional
mm,
circumstances. My mom encouraged me to step out of my comfort zone and go towards the dreams I've always wanted to achieve.
mm,
Because the sky is the limit and there's no storm that we cannot conquer.
mm,
My mom kept reminding me that adversity is just a past,
mm.
something that doesn't hold us ransom. So I applied this tremendously in my life, and I believe that our past does not equal to our future.
Mm, I love it. I love it. Oh my God. I love it. I love it. This is great already. So I want to ask you, so you have Soul Rich Woman, and I'm thinking about your past. I mean, so basically with adversity, and we men, women, people in general, I mean, we're dealing with adversity every single day. I mean, and just to hear your story, just to hear your story. I mean, we only have about an hour here, but I mean, so I want people to go look you up, look up your story, connect with you and what you're doing, because you're doing some awesome things, inspiring women. And I just want to ask you this question: why are you so driven to empower women to go after what they want and their biggest dreams?
The three things would be, I really wanted to create a legacy
Mm,
and helping women to have this A, B, and C. Of course, A being awareness, having the awareness that they can have the F word, that it is possible for them.
mm.
And B, have the belief that they can have the courage to fly to wherever they want to go. C, having the consistency to pursue and hammer at the constant goal that they want to go for. So the A, B, C is going to, even though look so simple, it's not complicated. It's really very easy. You
Mm,
just need to focus on A, B, C, and helping them having the awareness allow me to connect with them.
mm,
Many women still are unaware of their potential. Because, I mean, let's talk about women in Southeast Asia, for example. The women in my community, many of them are stay-at-home moms. They probably had a career, but because of children, they forgot who they are. They gave up their career willingly to take care of the kids, put their husbands first, take care of the household chores, everything. But after 10, 20 years, what happened to the children? What happened to herself?
Mm.
So that me and finding that self-worth and self-care and that fabulous is missing. It's probably hidden somewhere in the cupboard, in the drawer, under the bed. So we want to reignite by having that awareness, and then knowing that they can believe there's a community of women with them, that they can see that they're role models, people already doing it, breaking the 4 mile, and then see the consistency. Together we are a community, because alone you are strong, together we are unstoppable.
Wow. Wow. That's another knowledge bomb. Wow. Wow, this is amazing. And this is the thing. I mean, it's so interesting. You know, for example, you have a woman that's very successful in the corporate world, right? And most of the time the men, when they see her, they don't see her like, oh man, she's a successful businesswoman. Most of the time, from a man's perspective, the woman is being treated, you know, like a sex object or something like that. You know, so women are disrespected in so many different ways, you know. So I definitely, you know, Soul Rich Woman, you know, really to inspire women in every area of their lives. I mean, I think this is very, very awesome, man. Bravo to you. Bravo to you for what you're doing. But I want to also talk about failure, adversity, and failure. So the question is, how has failure shaped you in your entrepreneur journey?
Failure has given me perspective. I think it's not just failure. These are just lessons. I can share with you a
Love it.
story. Before, I had run a successful cafe retail chain,
Mhm.
and we exited to a public listed company. And there was 4 other partners. So there were 5 partners in the business, because this is a multi-million-dollar cafe retail chain.
Wow.
And before this entire success, I had joined partnership with my friends. And that was one of the reasons I went into the 6-figure debt. They left me hanging. We started a business together. There was no contract. There was nothing really black and white. And it was just like, okay, we are friends, so let's do something together. And we joined forces, and we do a dating agency of sorts. But it didn't work out. And because I was the major shareholder, nothing was done. I lost the major amount of money. Right. And that left a scar in me. So typically, if I had not taken failure positively as a lesson learned, like, don't do business with friends, really. Because first and foremost, let me put into context for you.
Go ahead.
It's about the value of money. Let's put it this way. When there's $1 million on the table, what will you do with the money? Will you reinvest back into the business? Or are you going to say, okay, let's take 50-50, we split half, and then let's do it, and let's split it and take it away and don't put it back into the business. So what is that value of money? So usually I would recommend new entrepreneurs who is partnering with other people, have a stake in the business, and build up maybe to $5,000, $10,000 or $20,000 or even $50,000 before even deciding whether they would want to become partners. Because even though at the start you may want to look like, okay, let's start everything right, start a company, you're going to do accounting, you're going to do this, but you think about it, but when the sales come in, or one person do more or the other person do less, will you have imbalance in your heart? Like when I run my cafe retail chain, which is successful, I was based in Indonesia for 2 years. I was the only one who's still single. The rest of them are all married with kids, right? So would you say that, because you're a woman, you're a girl, you cannot travel, you cannot be based overseas, and you're going to be there? No, let's do it. If we're partners in business, let's make it happen. Let's each of us take on a different role and responsibility and make the business happen. And that's how we grew to 3 countries, right? I opened the Indonesia market and we grew to 18 franchisees and licensees. So if I had took the failure of that dating agency that we started and losing a 6-figure, I had a 6-figure debt because of the whole situation, I would not want to start a cafe retail chain, which requires me to reinvest back into the business again. And then traveling to Indonesia on my own, starting the market, opening up the market is not easy. So where do you stand in terms of your failure? How do you view it? How will you turn it around for yourself? Remember, my mother said, turn your mess into a message. And no doubt I was sad and suicidal and depressed because of a failed partnership. I thought that life was over at a very young age. But you know what? Sometimes we just need to meet the right people to make it happen.
I want to touch 2 things before we move on to the next thing. So listen, Lead to Greatness. Listen to what Genecia said. So she basically said when she had this experience that she was down, that she dealt with depression, that she had, suicidal and things like that. So what I want you to understand is this is totally normal. But the difference is not just staying there, but she had to dust herself off. She had to get the dust off. She had to get the mud off, and she had to get up and she had to start moving again. And that's what separates greatness from just ordinary people. The great people, the only difference between them and you is they got up and tried again. So she said something great. So make sure your success is lessons. It's not failure, it's a lesson. Listen, failure is a lesson. Thank you for that, for sharing that. I mean, because you could have, I wanted to pull that out because you could have, most people don't share things like that. They don't want to share when, that you were going through the emotional, having an emotional battle yourself. Everybody would talk about the success, but I'm glad you shared that with the Lead to Greatness audience. Thank you for that. Thank you so much. And definitely, this is really going to help a lot of people, just you being authentic here, in this interview. Man, your resume is unbelievable. The things that you have been able to accomplish in the last decade has been amazing. The things that you are doing in Southeast Asia. I want to ask you this question: How in the world? How in the world did you build one of the leading women support groups in Southeast Asia?
I would say really have the open heart. Think of yourself as a big tree. I think that's one. You must be willing to give. I think 2, have a sustainable business model and help others in a way that allows them to take on the opportunity as well. So we run on a subscription-based business model. So we have a $12 membership that serves the Southeast Asia market because the earning power of the women is not high. So unlike Singapore, when like in Philippines and in Indonesia, where salary, and Vietnam, salary is 300 to 400 USD a month. So if you ask them to buy a $1,000 program, they will not be able to do that. So we always allow the women to ease into growth, whether it's the entrepreneurship journey or to acquire whichever effort their dream allows them to. So from $12, we move up to the next, and then we move up to the different mentoring programs and stuff like that. So that progression is something that allows women to dip their fingers and toes into something that they want to do. And that's how we grow the network.
That is amazing. Meeting people where they are, and you said something. Basically, know your audience. Know your audience. You can't serve your audience if you don't know them. So let's talk a little bit more about the business aspect of it. How do you successfully manage a fully digital company working remote employees from different parts of the world? How do you do
Project manage everybody.
that?
I use three tools I will recommend anyone to do this. I think first and foremost, you must have a project management tool. I use Asana. I
Spell
basically
that?
do that. Asana.
Okay. Thank you.
Asana.
Okay.
And then I use Skype for daily communications.
Hmm.
And last but not least, we have a common place like Google and Dropbox to Google Drive and Dropbox to share files and things like that. I think that allows me to work with remote employees. But I think there are three things I learned. I was never being able to let go of the task that I was doing or the work that I was doing.
Mm.
I find that I became the bottleneck in my business, to when I go online, it's so easy. I can do everything myself, from social media to funnels to the Facebook ads. I can do everything myself because that's how we all started, right? One woman show and one man show.
Yeah.
But if I were to grow a business, scale a business, I think the growth strategy is to learn how to delegate. And that taught me a lot of things. So the first thing is really know what you want, or know what you want the person to do. Never imagine that your virtual assistant or your team member is able to mind read what exactly you want. List out what exactly, and then number two, empower them to do it. Even though they make mistakes, so be it. They need to make the mistakes. If don't keep thinking that you can do it better than them. I guarantee you can do it better than them, and you can do it faster than them. But if you don't empower them, you'll never be able to free up your time to do the things that really matter. Number three, be on top of your business and not be in the area of your busyness. What most often than not, running a team right now, of a team of 21, I'm not stuck in micromanaging them. So I talk to managers and the managers talk to the rest of the team. So I have different layers, right? In the business. So you really have to get on top of the business and not be stuck in the mundane things. So just keep in mind on that.
What an amazing system! Wow, I mean, you got systems down packed. This is amazing. You said something. What happened when you were trying to do everything yourself? What happened when you did finally let go?
Oh, I would say, let it go, let it go.
What did it change when you do that? What was the shift when you finally said, you know what? I know I can do it, but I gotta let this thing go. I gotta empower people.
I think that part when I realized I didn't have enough time.
Mm,
I mean, the whole point of entrepreneurship is to free up my time,
mm,
and I could spend more time with my family. I could travel the world.
yeah.
I can do whatever I want. And that freedom to me is something that I value 100%. So when I couldn't do as much and have dinner and lunch as and when I want with my mom, my brother, my dad, it kind of took me off my balancing point. And because family is very important in my world, and freedom as well. So I decided to let go. And at that point, the mindset shift was to sit down and really be diligently writing out the task of all the things that I want, that I'm doing right now, that I could potentially outsource and get someone else to do it. So that sitting down was one of the hardest part, because you are doing day in, day out. It's so simple and so straightforward for you. So it's so easy and so much flow. But to sit down and list it out logically with, clarity, is something that requires a lot of effort and discipline. And to tell yourself that if you write it down, then you can hand it over. When
Mm,
you write it down, then you can delegate.
yeah.
And that's how I come up with this workbook to teach people how to delegate 80% of your to-do list so that you can make money online. Okay, even you're just a newbie. So that's something that I want to encourage you to go get as well. It's a free download on the website.
You have men clients.
Oh yes, we have men clients as well for our podcasting business.
Yeah.
And I do take on some coaching clients with my partner who are gentlemen, and they are in different types of business. Majority of them wants to go from offline to online. So that is what we look at. But with our focus is still on women, majority. And like I said, when you speak to one fish, the fish will focus on you. Sell to everybody, sell to nobody. Speak to one, speak to many.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Yeah, that question was really for me. I'm so sorry, Lead to Greatness. I had to give me a plug-in question for myself. Sorry about that. This is awesome stuff. I love your systems. I love how you are definitely on top of everything. And listen, brothers, fellas, that's information for you as well. I mean, so don't count yourself out. All right. So what I want you to do, what great tips and insight can you give to the Lead to Greatness community?
Step out of your comfort zone, quit thinking and start doing. Because what is life truly mean to you? Is it fear, or is it the fabulous, the freedom, the financial independence, and the happy family? Really, the sky is the limit, and there's no storm you cannot conquer.
Oh, what a knowledge bomb. Knowledge bomb. Wow. 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 I have to ask you this question. If you could go back and have a conversation with your 14-year-old self, what would you tell her?
Don't lose sight of your goals. Sometimes pick yourself up and keep going forward. I think that loss of self-esteem during the period when I was constantly being bullied, I knew I was not as well off as other people, really did take a lot of my soul. And it took many years to recover because I do a lot of inner healing and personal development work on myself. And that's how I have the positivity to share with my community. So that's what I want to tell myself, really keep going.
Wow. And that's just so amazing. You shared your story earlier. And at 14 years old, so you went from that and then you became Miss Singapore. How did that happen from low self-esteem to becoming Miss Singapore? Let's talk about that.
My friends who were the ones who encouraged me to pursue this path, and they felt that I had the potential when I couldn't see the inner diamond within myself. And that's why I'm doing Soul Rich Women right now. I'm helping other women having the A, awareness, B, to have a belief that they have the inner diamond that is within them, and C, having the consistency and community to pursue their F word.
Wow. Yeah, that's amazing. You said that. And you said something, Lita Grayson. I don't want you to miss this either. She said her friends, the people that she had around her, we have to really be careful with the people we surround ourselves with. Because oftentimes the people we surround ourselves with, instead of building us up, they can definitely tear us down. So this is definitely great. So when you when you became Miss Singapore, so at what point did your self-esteem begin to improve?
I was really blessed. In fact, it was that sheer perseverance of pushing through and knocking on doors, getting sponsorships, and being trained and groomed in Miss Singapore beauty pageant. I mean, to win Miss Singapore Universe runner-up, and then later on winning Miss Singapore International and representing Singapore. Before that winning, that aspect built me up to be a little bit more confident, because I was already semi-entrepreneur, right? Because kind of like doing my own teaching and working as a waitress as well. So everything comes together. I was knocking on doors. Can you teach me how to do makeup? Can you teach me how to do deportment? Can you teach me how do I dress and groom myself on stage? Even though the pageant provide the training, but it's only very short, right? How are you going to prepare yourself before that? So I went knocking on doors, and that opened my heart and healed my soul. And there was one person who really helped me. And I want to tell you that it's because of this person that transformed my journey and my confidence. She helped me with public speaking. I still remember she took my wallet. Her name is Rebecca. And she gave me all her DVDs and CDs on the worksheets on public speaking and how to present myself. And I couldn't have the money to pay her. And then she said, I'm going to tell you this part. I said, what? Give me your wallet. Okay, I handed her my wallet and she opened up and she emptied all my money from my wallet and she took it, which was $60 for the entire month, and left nothing for me. I said, Rebecca, why do you take all my money? And she said, well, you know, all these DVDs and CDs and stuff that I've given you is worth a lot of money. But I want to teach you one value, which is called the power of value exchange. Yeah. And $60 is all I have. And I'm not well-to-do. And that's my hard-earned money. And I was shocked. And because she took my money, and that's all I have left, I studied very hard and worked very hard on my speech and my presentation, my department, my grooming. That value of exchange, that really ingrained my mind, and it has really transformed my soul to be who I am today. So that confidence doesn't come because I joined a pageant. Yes, it did. It gave me stage and everything, but it's the preparation that gives me and led me to greatness.
That's amazing. We're going to have a moment of silence for the knowledge bomb. Wow. Wow. So amazing. Wow. You have any books or whatever that you have written?
Yes, I have.
Okay.
In fact, I have two books, which is called Make It Happen. And then the other one is Personal Branding Secrets, of which I'm going to give this to you. If you're listening in today, you can go grab this book to help you to brand yourself from offline to online. And it's available at my website called soulrichwoman.com, soulrichwoman.com. And also the workbook for how do you delegate 80% of your to-do list to your assistant so that you can make money online, even though you're a newbie, okay? I teach you exactly the process of how we list out all the tasks, all the way to even delegating. So you must go grab the workbook, okay? It's also on the website. And do connect with me if you love today's episode and my sharing. I'm on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram at Genecia Alluora. Just search for my name, GeneciaAlluora.
Wow, what amazing. Genecia, I just want to thank you. Man, your story is amazing. You're so inspiring to not just women, but also to men as well. I mean, this is awesome. And I really, I'm really looking forward to, the things that you have going on in the future. And I will personally, definitely will be connecting with you. Is there any other social media platforms that you didn't mention where others can connect with you and what you're doing?
Well, you can tune in also to my podcast at soulwhy.com, soulwhy.com. Soulwhy.com is a daily podcast show. So go check it out.
Daily podcast. Awesome. Awesome. Soul Why podcast. Check it out. Genecia, on behalf of the Lead to Greatness community, I want to thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule. It is 7:47 a.m. in Singapore right now, where you're located. I mean, you woke up. I don't know what time you get up in the morning, but it's early in the morning, and you woke up early, prepared and ready to give Lead to Greatness something to help them reach their greatest potential. Definitely going to listen to this over and over again. Definitely going to connect with you and everything you're doing, because you are an awesome person. Awesome person.
And more power to you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And don't forget to subscribe to Lead to Greatness if this is your first time. and this podcast was helpful to you, leave a big thumbs up. And also, I want you to check out our Marriage Coach podcast, the podcast with my wife and I. If you're on iTunes, please rate this podcast and leave a review and help get the word out. Again, thank you, Lead to Greatness Nation, for joining us on today. Looking forward to seeing you again on next week. Till then, remember, if you help others reach their greatest potential, together we can change the world. Peace. We out.